12 News at 6 starts now.
Well, good evening. Tonight, the West Valley was the target of a massive thunderstorm. Check out this video that was captured by Sky 12 over the West Valley. Lightning flashing, very ominous looking. And we're tracking some breaking news. This storm in some parts of the valley became very severe. Chase Golightly is in the area of 67th Avenue and Thomas at Desert Sky Mall, or at least trying to make his way there. Phoenix Fire is responding to a roof collapse at the mall. Chase, I don't know if you're there or not yet, but what are you seeing?
Well, right now we're stuck in traffic. We're heading west on Thomas, which the mall is off Thomas and I believe 76th Avenue. Right now we're at 67th Avenue. And I wanted to show just some of the flooded roadways that we're seeing right here on Thomas. This started around 63rd Avenue, and I'm holding our weather camera kind of out the window here. You can see that rain coming down. You can also see the water accumulation there on the side of the road. It's almost up to the sidewalk right there. People are, we're hanging out. I can try to show, I apologize if the camera's a little shaky. Can we hit the windshield wipers real quick to try to give you a better view right here? But you can see it's a standstill with traffic. Again, you have rush hour. Everyone's getting on Thomas to head west. And then you have the rain and the flooded roadways here a little bit, which are making things a little bit more difficult. But you can really see that rain is starting to come down. This started just a couple minutes ago, and you can see it, again, accumulating on the right side of the road. But as for that partial roof collapse at the mall that we are attempting to go to right now, I did get off the phone with Captain Todd Keller with the Phoenix Fire Department. He is currently on his way there now. He was telling me that it is a partial roof collapse at the mall. At what section of the mall, that we are still working to determine. One thing that we also have right now is no reports of injuries. But again, this is a very active situation. Fire officials are already there, but like I said, Captain Todd Keller, who we usually speak with when it comes to these situations, he is on his way there now. We'll probably be getting there around the same time, and we're hoping to get some more updated information of what's happening. But again, I kind of just wanted to show you, just from the vantage point from our car, the flooded roadways here. Also north, this is, you're looking north right now. This is where we were seeing a lot of lightning earlier in the Deer Valley Anthem area. But right now here on Thomas, just a lot of rain and some very, very slick road conditions right now. We'll be sure, you can see that water kind of kicking up in the car right ahead of us as we're making our way through. People are taking their time, especially with that water still coming down. The roadways are getting a lot more wet. People just haven't taken their time, especially when you're in a small little car like the one ahead of us as we're making our way through. Looks like we even have a green light here, and people seem to be stuck in the intersection again because of all that water that's just been kicking up there right ahead of us as we get stopped at the light here. And I can kind of show you again just how much water you can see right there, and you can see that it is going into the drainage system right there. But you can just see how high it is compared to that tire wheel right there as we give you another little pan shot. Again, that water almost getting up to the sidewalk right there as that rain continues to come down. Again, for that partial roof collapse at Desert Sky Mall, according to our GPS, we are about 19 minutes away. But again, with that traffic and as that rain continues to pile up, we might be a little bit more delayed. But of course, we'll be sure to bring you the latest on that situation, finding out what where in the mall that partial roof collapse was. I was also told that part of the mall is there are leaks inside the mall. But of course, once we get there, we'll be sure to bring you the latest information of what's going on with that situation.
All right, Chase, thank you. And of course, you know, if you've lived here for any amount of time, we have a drainage system, but it's just not ready to take on so much rain all at once.
You know, isn't it interesting that people sort of have this assumption that Arizona is 99.9% of the time a land of sunshine.
Yes.
And that's true. But that other 1%,
right?
We get, and this is why we do these weather impact alerts. There's just weather that we follow every day for you here on 12 News, and then there are weather impact alert days, and this happens to be one, and this is why we have that system in place.
Right, yes, and we all know that with it being the desert, the kind of soil that we have, the landscape, the drainage
system. It just doesn't soak in.
It just doesn't soak in. So, you know, any amount of heavy rain, and we're going to see some of those situations like that. Okay, let's get over now to meteorologist Lindsay Riley, standing by right now, looking at the radar. What are you seeing right now, Lindsay?
Well, the good news is as this storm approaches the Cave Creek and Anthem area, it is not nearly as as potent as what it was over Avondale and Glendale. So the hail threat is now diminishing. The severe wind threat is diminishing, but we are going to be okay, we're going to go to a live picture of I-10 and 75th Avenue right now. Oh, and you can definitely see a lot of water there. There is a flash flood warning, which means flooding is happening, which is happening there or is imminent, and it does cover a good chunk of the West Valley. So cars really trying to get through that, probably not the best idea because it's impossible to know how deep that water is, especially at night. So we did see anywhere from 1/4 of an inch to 1 inch of rain that fell in about 30-40 minutes in a lot of these areas in the West Valley. So it doesn't surprise me that we have scenes like that right now. All these cars at rush hour trying to get home, and well, we have some very flooded roadways. I also got some Chase has some hail, and we'll go to Chase right now. Chase, what are you seeing?
Looks like Milwaukee.
Well, right now it's a bus. Yeah, right now that was a bus. But I think what you're looking at right here on the right side of the road, I believe that's stacks of hail that came down. At first I thought it was snow, but then it looked like there was some beads. I wish I could zoom in on here, but maybe Lindsay can even point it out. I mean, that appears to be a big stack. I mean, that's a couple inches tall of, again, what appears to be hail that's just been piled up to the side. Part of me wants to get out of the car and go check, but again, we're in the middle of the road here, so we got to be safe. But I know there were some reports of hail. I'm looking at the other side of the street right now. There's some on the road. I can try to show you here. It's not a good vantage point, but you can kind of see it in the road. Again, it just looks like not too.
That is hail.
Not too large. Yeah. So you got a lot of it stacked up around here, piled up on the side there, and then you can see all that water flowing through. But yeah, this place must have gotten a significant amount of it to be able to be piled up that high. And again, you can just see that water trying to flood through our little drain system right here. People are trying to get, you can see all the water getting kicked up there. So yeah, this area, this is Thomas, and I'm looking at the street sign right here. This is Thomas and 69th Avenue. Had hail, floodwater here on the street that's trying to get by, and that rain is still coming down.
Yeah, Lindsay, are you able to show the radar? Because that's really interesting, because you did show us that hail core just a little while ago. And that's more than likely where we're seeing that hail there.
Yeah, absolutely. The hail core is no longer, but you can actually see where this box here, this maroon box kind of underneath the radar, that's where the storm was. And the report from that was that we had hail accumulation, which you just saw there out in the West Valley. And on top of that, anywhere from 1/4 of an inch to 1 inch of rainfall, which is a lot. And that all fell in a very short period of time. So you saw the scenes from I-10 with that underpass there that was completely flooded. And then you also saw the accumulation of hail, couple inches deep of hail, which will obviously melt over the next hour or so. Good news is that our severe weather threat, at least with that particular cell, is now diminishing. So it is moving up closer to Anthem and Cave Creek. It is no longer severe. White, that's the hail core right there. So it still has a very small one. It's possible it's still producing penny-sized hail, but what you were seeing from Chase's live shot there, that was quarter-size hail, which is considered severe. 1 inch in diameter, that's severe. So it's no longer severe right now. Small hail possible, could be on the order of pea size. So that's not going to cause damage. That is some good news, but you can still see a lot of red here on the radar, meaning this is still producing a lot of rain. It could produce a quick 1/2 of an inch of rain, which means flooding at this point would be our primary threat over hail, as well as flooding. So flooding could be our primary threat. So wind threat diminishing, hail threat diminishing, but if you're watching us from Cave Creek and Anthem area, just be careful out there because this could produce some ponding and some flooding in some poor drainage areas.
And we already saw the flooding under the underpass, overpass area, and that's a typical flooding area. We see it all the time during the monsoon. Linz, what about winds associated with this storm? We've seen the hail that it produced and the thunder and a large amount of rain in a short period of time. What about winds associated with something like that?
I haven't gotten a report of severe winds yet, but with that being said, just looking at the structure of the storm from the chopper video, we saw that shelf cloud, which a lot of times can indicate strong to severe winds. To be considered severe, it has to be over 57 miles an hour. So it wouldn't shock me seeing a shelf cloud that we saw of that magnitude, that we did have severe winds. And now Chase is going out to the mall, which has some roof damage and a partial roof collapse. So it is possible that there were pockets of severe wind in addition to the hail and the flooding, but time will tell on that. A lot of times it takes the National Weather Service to actually go out to these places and determine what happened, especially if it was a microburst or something of that sort.
At some point, maybe, I know you were on a story today,
Yes.
but as the sun was setting and we had this incredible shot of this shelf cloud that was producing a lot of lightning and this hail and the storm. Maybe we can get some of that video so we can show our viewers that maybe weren't home and aren't quite sure of what we're talking about when we talk about this storm system and this storm front that moved through. Maybe we can get some of that video on the air in the next few minutes. We're going to certainly try.
Yeah,
Okay.
this is earlier. Yeah, this is earlier. And yeah, I shot my story out today in the East Valley. And as I was driving back in, all of this, I mean, you could see that cloud just hanging low. There was lightning everywhere.
I mean, it almost
The
looks
winds, yeah, I mean,
biblical.
yeah, because exactly, it really did, because it extends really many, many miles there across the West Valley. And there were winds, by the way. I was at a light and my car was shaking from left to right. Yeah, because some of those storm outflow winds were starting to make their way into the downtown area. But yeah, we're just not really used to seeing this much rain in that short period of time. And what a time to have all that rain on the I-10, right? In the middle of the evening commute.
Yeah, terrible time.
Terrible
obviously.
timing there. But it does look like, people are starting to take it slow in that area. And that's exactly what you'll need right now,
Yeah.
is patience if you're in that area.